Hi folks, how's everybody doing out there? All right, so this is Tezra, it's me, and I am your mental chiropractor. I am here to help you realign your mind, and you are my patients. And so what does realign your mind actually mean? It just simply means to take back your hijacked mind, to take back your seized mind, because many of us don't even realize that we're not even thinking with our own minds. We are thinking with the minds that was given to us, and that mind that was given to us is deeply programmed, deeply coded. And so out of that mind is how we maneuver and make choices. And when we do that, our lives reflect or mimics that of our mindset. And so I am here to help you realign your mind so you can take back that power. And because that's where it all is. It's all in your mind. It has nothing to do with anything else, even though I know that we are taught this daily. We have what do you call them? Statistics to support, their claims or whatever. But I'm here to tell you that I know for divine truth that it is all contingent upon your mindset. So that's what I'm here to do. I am here. So if you're into that work, if you're here to master yourself and master your mind, have mastery over yourself and mastery over your mind, then you are in the right place. And if that resonates with you, then go ahead and subscribe. And what else do you do? Oh, you like the video. But like the video after or like halfway in, just to make sure, because all of the things that I want to do here is genuine. And I know on YouTube, a lot of it is script, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, and other people hit that subscribe button. Only takes you a second. What else? What else can you do? Or what else are you gonna do? Something like that. So they have different handles and they're good. But I just want to make sure that mine is genuine. So I'm not going to ask you to like my video until halfway through or even the whole way through, depending on how long you stay. I get it. I know our attention span is like super small right now. But if you agree with the content or are intrigued by the content, then please go ahead and like the video and then, of course, subscribe. All right. So in the wake of what happened, I think it was yesterday with Charlie Kirk, and I have to be honest to say, I had never heard of Charlie Kirk. Now, my husband randomly shows me things that he knows that I'm interested in, and so he did probably show me a video or two over the course of the years, but I just never knew that that's who that was. And so therefore, I just want to start off by saying that I hope that he continues his beautiful journey of his eternal life, and that his physical incarnation made a huge impact on the country, and therefore he served his purpose. He lived a life of impact. He lived a life of courage, of bravery, of truth, his truth. And so my heart goes out to his wife, his children, his family, and his colleagues. I know this is a big loss. So my sincere, heartfelt condolences. Now, there's a difference between Black people and melanated people. And when I say the difference, I'm talking about the difference is the mindset. If anybody subscribes to Black, African American, that's going to be another video. I can't wait till I do that video. Oh, I can't wait till I do that video. Then that's what you are. And for those who have become free thinkers, for those who have severed the ties, their mental ties from the programming, from the colonial programming, you have now become a free thinker where you are able to critically think about something, to objectively analyze things, and then draw a more healthy, balanced, more accurate, less biased opinion, view, perspective, then that's what I call a melanated person. So I just want to start here with the fact that Black people, you got to get it together, because this is the reason why nobody really pays your calls, your cries, your claims, your points, nobody really pays it any attention because of what I am about to show you right now. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Right now, all you seem to be is like little whiny babies. And not only little whiny babies, but there is also like this deep sense of denial. And there is an imbalance in your views and what you say. This person, his name is Van. He's some sort of anchor commentator on some sort of news outlet. I don't know. All I know is when I heard him say this, I was like, see, this is why. This is why you come off as, I don't care how articulate you are. I don't care the caliber or how sophisticated or elevated the words you use. But when you listen to the content of what you're speaking, it's very unintelligent. And for him to say this, really discredited him. Great. And this is why nobody, especially your white counterparts, this is why they don't pay you any attention. I mean, maybe the woke ones do, but they're just as delusioned. But the people who are balanced, who are emotionally mature and have a healthy analysis of things, assessments of things, this is why you don't get paid any attention or any credibility. So let's just look at this, y'all, because I was like, what? Her name is Trish Reagan, and I don't really know who she is, but I'm going to let her speak a little bit, and then we're going to get into Van's commentary. After Van, I'm going to go to my least favorite person, Amanda Seales, who is heavily veiled. Amanda Seales is so heavily veiled, and she is a big culprit in the culture, in the community, for keeping y'all down. She is. I'm sorry. She just digs your hole deeper. She just keeps your disempowerment further and further away from you. I mean, your empowerment further and further away from you by constantly reiterating the disempowerment that you all have. Listen, Amanda Seales, who else am I going after? I can't even stomach DL Hughley. I don't even want to know what he said. Who else am I going after? And then there's a whole host of just like, I don't want to say unknowns, but people who are not in the media's eye, in the public's eye, how they responded to the demise of Charlie Kirk. It's just sick, y'all. It's just sick. And what they don't realize, and I'm going to come back and talk to this, that you have taken on the mindset of your slave master. At the end of the day, that's what this is. But I'll come back and talk more about that, hopefully, if I remember. But that's exactly what this is. But anyway, let's go ahead and listen to this, and let's get into it.
He told the New York Post, and I quote here, "He's not doing well. Yes, it looks very bad." You know, what the heck is wrong with people? Okay, what's wrong with people? When you want to take somebody out because of their opinion, and we don't know if apparently I'm seeing conflicting headlines. Some people are saying the shooter's in custody. We saw some video online of a gentleman, an older gentleman, who looked like he was being arrested for this, but then it was said that this wasn't the guy. So we don't entirely know that. That's one of the moving parts at this moment in time. But the big moving part is the condition of this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful young man who has...
And I'm sure by the time you're hearing this, you already know, but they already knew that he had transitioned. The wound that he sustained, the fact that medical help, but I don't even think medical help could have done much for him at that point, but that wound was probably fatal upon impact. Like, so when they were talking about they didn't know what his condition is, it's not true. They knew.
So much opportunity in front of him, who has done wonders to help make conservatism cool. Okay, like Turning Point has had a tremendous influence on young people all over the country, and has helped them feel valued. Allegedly, while he was speaking, it was something on apparently the trans situation, the shooting we saw the other day, and that's about when this shot then happened. I want to bring you another headline that's coming in. It is believed, according to the Associated Press, that a person has been taken into custody again. So this news just coming to us, they believe that they have.
Okay, this is old. I wonder if I can fast forward it just a little bit. Okay, hopefully this is it.
All we've been hearing. Think about what they said last night. I actually had this soundbite ready for you guys because I was going to play it.
Okay, so she moved on because I think this was going to be her show for this day, but of course the demise of Charlie Kirk probably preempted that. But so now she's getting back to her story for the day. So this is regarding the young lady, the Ukrainian lady who also met her demise on a train in North Carolina. And the the response to this is just so preposterous. It is so deranged and disconnected and out of touch, and in such a grave level of grave sense of denial. Y'all, I could not believe it. Okay, let me go ahead and let this play because I got to get on with my evening, as I'm sure you do, and I thank you so much for sitting here and watching and listen. I am 12 subscribers away from being able to go live on my cell phone. And I would just, like I said, only if this content resonates with you, because for some people it's going to be very triggering. I'm not here to make anybody feel good, and I don't coddle feelings. So if it's not for the weak at heart, so if you're one of the ones that are weak at heart, then my channel is not for you. Unless you want to toughen your heart up so that you can begin to take control of your life. But if not, for those who are free thinkers, who are curious about it, who are starting to look at things in a different perspective and starting to realize that this has all been a hoax, we've all been hoodwinked and bamboozled, I don't care what you look like, then please go ahead and subscribe and support the videos by watching them, commenting, interacting. Like, it's time to move the needle forward. It's time to push the needle forward. It's time to elevate and graduate the conversation. All right, Trish, it's all you, my dear.
And I'm going to still talk about Charlotte because this is what Charlie was talking about, for goodness sakes, right? That, I'm sorry, like, you turn the tables. If this had been a different situation, right? If it had been a black woman that had been attacked by a white man, like, you don't think that the world would go crazy?
Abso-fucking-lutely. Absolutely. And for any black person who says that no, then you're a fucking hypocrite. And you are a walking contradiction. You're contrarian. So let's listen to this nonsense.
Like, let's be honest, the media buried this. They buried this poor.
Can you see this? Can you see all of these media outlets that did not air this deadly attack? Why do y'all think that is? If it doesn't support the narrative, if it doesn't push the agenda forward, then it doesn't get any play. And how unfortunate is that for the human being who went through this horrific experience and did not survive? What a disservice and an injustice to that person. Y'all, we gotta get it. We gotta get it. And this is end wokeness. This is a tweet or an X. What do you call it? This is an X. Like this is a tweet by End Wokeness. All of these people did not cover this story. It's an atrocity.
Or Ukrainian refugee. I mean, end wokeness out with zero stories on AP, zero PBS. I mean, they eventually had to change it. And wait till you see what they changed it to, right? They changed it to all kinds of headlines like, oh, somehow, they're gaslighting us like you wouldn't believe. North Carolina ignites a firestorm on the right, for goodness sakes. New York Times. I mean, they're...
Now, if that had been a black woman who was slashed by a white or attacked by a white man, you do know what the headlines would have read, right? Put in the comments for me if you do know what the headlines would have read. And when the tables are turned, no skin tone is mentioned. None. So I want you all to think about that. So that means, what position do they want a group of people to stay in? They want a group of people to stay in the position of victimization, of victimhood. They want them to have a mindset of, yep, we're targeted. It's open season on us. This is what they want y'all to think and believe. This is the frequency that they want you to vibrate on. This is the frequency that they want you to conduct your life from. Very low vibrational frequency. Because when you operate from that low of a frequency, your life reflects it. I once heard it said, control your energy and control your life. People, you got to get in control of your energy.
They're mad at us. They think that, like, somehow the MAGA's creating this, storm. This is a political storm, and we're trying to use this. I mean, this is bad. So anyway, what happened last night? It seems that CNN decided to literally target Charlie Kirk. I want to play this for you.
Want to be there.
And it's
about forcing them to be there.
When you are mentally ill, you have a hard time knowing that you are mentally ill.
This is true. I'm so glad that you said that, because what we're about to witness is a form of mental illness. But they don't recognize that they're mentally ill on a certain level. And so thank you for acknowledging that.
But also, I mean, people like Charlie Kirk, Van, they've been looking for opportunities to make this some sort of like reciprocal George Floyd situation. And that's the part that I think he's almost giving away the game. And it's sad to see a lot of people going along with it.
I don't even really think I know what that means, a reciprocal George Floyd situation. And first of all, why the comparison? Why not just let each scenario stand on its own? But maybe I'll be more enlightened when this person right here speaks as Van, whatever person. But I don't really get what the reciprocal or the reciprocity that she's talking about from the George Floyd and how they. I don't know. I didn't get that.
Let me just say a couple of things. One is, what happened to that young woman was horrible, and it's everybody's nightmare. If you're in any public space, a subway, whatever, that something bad's going to happen to you or somebody you care about. So it does strike a chord. We don't know why that man did what he did. And for Charlie Kirk to say, we know he did it because she's white, when there's no...
This is a sound bite that got me, y'all. This black man has just said, oh, we don't know why he did it. Let me tell you something. Linda, listen. Listen, Linda, listen. If that had been a black woman that was attacked by a white man, that would have been the only reason. There is never 97% of the time, there is never any evidence to support that when something happens to a black person at the hands of a white person, there is hardly ever any evidence to support that it was because of the color of their or the tone of their skin. Hardly ever. And for this man to sit up here and say that you don't know, we can't say the reason why, that this person attacked this person. Like, there is no evidence. Y'all, that is so hypocritical to me. The hypocrisy of that is absurd, because I'm sure if I had the time and I was invested enough that I would find this person with any incident that involves a black person and a white person. You know, the black community is so sensitive that you cannot even have a white person say, oh, you know, throw shade and throw shade at somebody. Like, so for instance, for all of you Real Housewives addicts out there like me, like one season for the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Kim Zolciak said, oh, you know, I saw a bug in Nene's house and I didn't know if that was a roach or not. And then Kim Zolciak threw shade talking about Nene had roaches in her house, and people were like all up in arms. Like, you can't say that about a black person, that's racist. I'm like, y'all are just being numbnuts at this point. Y'all brains are just completely became total mush. And this is why nobody pays attention to you. And the only people that do pay attention to you are the people who want to keep you in that same position. But you cannot say anything about a black person, especially a white person cannot say anything about a black person. They cannot get into a disagreement with the black person. There cannot be any confrontation with the black person without it being all because a person was black. That's it. Like, a black person is not allowed to be a person when they're in a situation with a white person. The only thing that they get to be is a sack of skin. That's it. They don't get to be a person. Yo, I have saw and heard some of the most ludicrous things. Like, say for instance, if there was one, I think it was some sort of party boat or something, that two people got into it. They had, one happened to be black and one happened to be white. And so then it just kind of spilled out over, and it was kind of like this mini mayhem, and it was all because of the person went after the other person because they were black. It don't even care. It doesn't even matter if the black person instigated the situation. So if anybody out there agrees with me, then put a 1 in the chat, because this is crazy. This is crazy that he said this, and this is what set me off. And so I'm going to let this play a little round longer, but he is delusioned. He is deranged to even have that come out of his mouth. And this is why the black cause and what they say is so watered down and diluted and discredited because of shit like this that he said. Oh, we don't know what the motive was. And then it comes to find out, I don't know how accurate this is, but some person listened to the sound bite and the guy says something like, yeah, I got that white bitch, or something like that, or whatever the case is. But let's say, even if it wasn't, even if the person was just a Looney Tunes, which we do have those out there, even if it wasn't, but then you also have that same exact narrative when it comes to a black person being accosted, assaulted, or whatever by a white person. You have to have that same exact, keep that same energy. As I say, you keep that same energy and saying that, well, we don't know what the reason was. We don't know what the cause was. Keep that same energy. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Like, the hypocrisy is laughable at this point. Like, it's laughable. It's laughable. Even though I'm not laughing, I'm laughing on the inside. It's fucking laughable.
No evidence of that. It's just pure race mongering, hate mongering. It's wrong.
You live in the United States of America, and let me tell you something. People, especially black people, we eat up racial mongering. We eat it up. That's our Cheerios, our Wheaties in the morning. That's how we get our day started. So for this person to say this, he is so out of tune. He is so hypocritical. That's the only word that comes to mind. And, the confirmation biasness when it comes to if it's a black person, it's crazy. But then, because the tables happen to be turned, now all of a sudden, you're taking like this objective stance. All of a sudden, you're taking the stance of non-assumption. Why don't you take that same stance? Why don't you keep that same energy when the victim or the subject of whatever the case is a black person? And I'm using black because, like I said, for those who subscribe to the label black, then mostly you're thinking with a colonized mind. Amanda Seales is probably one of the biggest ones. No, maybe Umar Johnson is. I don't know. They may be running neck and neck. But all I'm saying is obliterate the fucking box. Unless Crayola is your manufacturer, you are not a fucking crayon. So stop subscribing to superficial, artificial colors that has nothing to do with the human body itself. Because you are not a color. So anyway, this is Tezra. I'm going to sign off. I think that this is pretty much all I wanted to really hear.
Then he says that if something like that had happened the other way, there would be sweeping changes imposed on society. Where is the George Floyd Policing Act? It didn't pass. Even when you had a white police officer murder a black man on live television, the whole...
That's not all the way accurate either. So we're gonna cut with the victimhood and the victim talk, because that's not all the way accurate. That's not all the way accurate either. So this is Tezra, your mental chiropractor. I'm here to help you realign your mind. Remember, we are tuned in, tapped in, but never trapped in. Do not be trapped into the illusion. Do not be tapped into the bamboozlement, because at the end of the day, there is only one race, and that is the human race. We are one. And so, folks, it is going to require us to come together in order for us to make this change, in order for us to go into a different direction that everybody is fighting to go in, but are really confused as to why we're not getting there. Because the one thing, the biggest component, the main component, the spiritual component requires unity. And so that is the only way that we're going to get to for a different direction. People always say we want a better world for our children, but you're not doing the work to make it so. The work that is required is for you first to take back your seized, your apprehended, your hijacked mind, so that you can think for yourself. And then when you think for yourself, you realize that, you know what, I am not these labels. And then you realize, you know what, I am connected to everything and everyone else on this planet. And that means that we are one. And when we can work out of that, even though I ain't gotta like you, I don't have to agree with you, but I can just respect you and your opinions, and I'm not going to violate your rights. I'm going to respect your opinion, even though I may vehemently disagree with it. That is what will make the world a better place for your children. I don't have any kids, but that is what's going to make the world a better place for your children. You have to take responsibility and accountability for your own participation, how you show up yourself. Where is the state of your mind? So it is time for self-mastery. It is time for you to learn how to master your mind. Remember, the mind is a wonderful servant, but a horrible master. And I'm going to come back in a later video with Miss Amanda Seals. Miss Amanda Seals, you can come up to the front. And until next time, I'll see you all later. Ciao.